Welcome to Jarama, everybody. We've got 15 cars here at this brilliant Spanish circuit, and we are in the thick of practice with 11 minutes to go on the clock.
Cranky Cow 352098 is looking the sharpest so far, though Rob's right on the pace and barely a tenth behind. Watch how close this field is going to be when it counts.
Chris is heading back to the garage now. Must be trying a different setup on the Ferrari after that last run.
Sensible timing with 11 minutes left gives the team enough opportunity to make adjustments and get another push lap in before the session ends.
Barnabas is peeling into the pits now. Good timing with 11 minutes on the clock gives them a proper window to work through whatever they're testing.
Most of the grid has been in and out already, so Barnabas is keeping pace with everyone else's development cycle.
Rob's keeping Cranky Cow 352098 honest out there. That's the kind of consistency you want to see in practice, mate.
He's only a tenth off the pace, which suggests he's got something left in reserve without pushing too hard and destroying the tyres this early.
Jane Canis 4749 is back out on the circuit now. Fresh set of mediums and straight back into it with 10 minutes to go.
Clean exit from the pits there, so they've got a clear track to find some rhythm and bank a solid lap before the session winds down.
Wiley's coming in now with 10 minutes left on the clock. Smart timing to get another configuration dialed in before we lose the light.
He's matching the pace of the leaders at the moment, so this pit stop is purely about trying different settings rather than chasing time.
Quick pit visit there with 9 minutes left. Quirt's making use of the remaining time to try something different on the car.
Sensible approach in practice, getting another run in before the session closes so they can evaluate what works and what doesn't.
Matthew Watson's found another tenth and a half there. That's a solid improvement as we are winding down the session.
He's been consistent all practice, gradually chipping away at the time, which suggests the Ferrari's responding well to setup changes.
There's a bit of confusion in the data here, Martin. The prompt mentions Big Red entering the pits, but that's not one of our active drivers today.
Correct. We should stick to who's actually on track. Cranky Cow, Rob, Chris, Joe, Wesley, Barnabas, Freezer, and yourself. No Big Red in this session.
Eight minutes to go and Cranky Cow's still setting the pace. That Ferrari's looking really planted through the technical stuff.
The thing that strikes me is how consistent the top three are. Rob and Chris are right there with him, which suggests they've all found a good baseline with the car.
Wiley's back on track after that service stop, rejoining down in 8th on the timesheet but fresh rubber underneath him now.
7 minutes left and he's got time to make up some ground. Those M tyres should give him a bit more grip than what he was running before.
Chris has just posted a 1 minute and 41.206 seconds. That's the fastest lap of the session so far, and is still P2 behind Cranky Cow.
Interesting that he's not at the top of the leaderboard despite that time. Suggests Cranky Cow went quicker earlier and hasn't been beaten since.
Cranky Cow's back out of the box. Fresh set of MS and straight back into the mix.
Clean exit from the pits, rejoining just outside the points positions, but with 7 minutes left there's still time to find that rhythm again.
Frieza's looking tidy out there. He's right on the pace, matching that fastest lap from earlier.
Yeah, he's been consistent all session. No dramas, just methodical improvement lap after lap.
"6 minutes left and we've got a real battle shaping up at the sharp end. Cranky Cow and Chris are separated by nothing on the times.
Rob's just rejoined from the pits, so we might see him shuffle the order depending on what setup changes he's tried.
Joe's really quietly impressive here. He's just a fraction off the pace at the sharp end without any fuss.
He's been plugging away all session, consistent midfield running, and at this level that's exactly what you want in practice.
Cranky Cow's peeling into the pits now. 5 minutes to go, so this will be a quick stop to try something different on the car.
Makes sense. He's been quickest all session, so this is pure development work rather than anything tactical at this stage of practice.
Chris is back on track after that service stop, still on the mediums. Looks like he's got some clear air ahead of him to build a rhythm.
Fresh rubber should help him find a bit more confidence through the high-speed stuff. We'll see if he can string together a clean lap now without traffic.
Wesley Thainso's right there knocking on the door. Just 1.54 off Frieza's best time and looking smooth as silk through the corners.
He's been steady all session. That's the kind of margin you can chip away at with another lap or two of confidence building.
Rob's finally found some rhythm out there. He's been struggling most of the session, but that last lap looked genuinely tidy through the technical bits.
He's still 170 seconds down on the pace, so there's clearly something fundamentally different in his approach or setup that needs addressing before we see him move up the order.
Wiley's just peeling into the pits now with 4 minutes on the clock. Wants to get one more run in before the session closes.
Smart timing, really. He's matching Frieza's pace on paper, so this is just about maximizing those final laps and seeing what else he can extract from the car.
"3 minutes left and we've still got Cranky Cow setting the standard. That Ferrari's clearly got some real pace in it today."
Chris is sat right on the same lap time though, so there's proper competition for that top spot if he can string together one clean run before the checkered flag.
Right, we've got Cranky Cow back out there. Looks like he's on another qualifying lap with the clock ticking down.
He's already got the benchmark, so this is just about proving it wasn't a one-off. Chris will be hunting him hard in these final moments.
"2 minutes to go and this session's been a real mixed bag. Some drivers finding their rhythm, others still scratching their heads with the setup.
Cranky Cow's shown what's possible with this Ferrari, but there's still time for someone to surprise us if they can nail a perfect lap.
Clock's ticking down and Chris is still hunting that top spot. He's only 2/10 away. Martin, this could go either way.
Rob and Frieza are both sitting on the same time as the leader too, so there's a real cluster of pace up there if anyone can find that extra tenth in these final laps.
1 minute left and we've still got 3 drivers separated by nothing at the top. This is proper close racing in practice.
Cranky Cow's set the marker, but Chris, Rob, and Freezer are all within a tenth. Whoever gets a clean lap in this final minute could shuffle the whole order.
Hold on, there's Stefan heading into the pits with just over a minute remaining. Looks like he's done his work for the day.
Bit of a surprise that one, but in practice it's all about gathering data. No point grinding away if you've found what you need from the car.
Rob's heading in with just a minute on the clock. He's done solid work out there, matching the pace up front.
Smart timing really. He's got his data. He's on the board at P3. No need to risk a mistake when the gaps are this tight at the end of a session.
Oliver Saxby's in the pits now with seconds on the clock. That's a late one, but he's been grinding away out there all session.
Hard to know what he was chasing that late, but the Ferrari's been reasonably stable all afternoon. Probably just trying to wring one more tenth before the checkered flag.
Barnabas is peeling into the pits now, lap 14, so they've had a good run out there to work through the setup.
Fifth on the board and pulling in with the session winding down. They've clearly gathered what they needed from this stint.
Chris is coming in now on lap 10. He's been setting the pace all session, so this is a natural point to gather some data and try something different with the setup.
Makes sense. He's got P1 locked down, and with a Ferrari this responsive, there's always tweaks to explore in the pits before we wrap up.
Joe's heading into the pits on lap 23. He's been chasing that pace all session, so this is his chance to try something fresh with the car.
Fifth position on the timesheet, and he's still over 5 seconds down. So whatever he does in the garage will need to make a real difference if he wants to claw back into that fight.
Freezer's still out there grinding away, only 4 tenths back from Chris, so there's real pace in that Ferrari today.
He's been consistently quick all session without needing to pit yet, which suggests he's found a setup window early and just building confidence.
Freezer's peeling into the pits now on lap 10. He's been right there in the fight, so let's see what adjustments they make to chase down Chris.
Smart timing. He's been consistent all session and sitting 6th, so this is a chance to experiment without losing ground to the cars ahead.
Welcome to Jarama 2009, everyone. We've got a cracking qualifying session underway with these Ferrari 355 challenges, and honestly, the pace out there is razor sharp right now.
9 minutes left on the clock, and what's fascinating is that the entire field is banked within a tenth of Chris's pace. This is wide open, and one perfect lap could shuffle the entire grid.
You know, Martin, with 9 minutes left and everyone separated by a tenth, this is exactly what qualifying should be, pure, nail-biting stuff.
Absolutely. Chris has set the benchmark, but the moment someone gets a flawless lap, the order could flip entirely. The pressure's immense right now.
Rob's got a good rhythm going out there. He's been smooth all session, hasn't made a mistake.
He's right on the edge though. Everyone's so tightly bunched that one tiny lockup could cost him a tenth and send him backwards.
With 8 minutes left, this is where the real drama happens. Someone's going to find that extra tenth and nobody knows who it'll be.
The gap between P1 and P8 is effectively nothing. Jarama's a technical circuit, and one perfect corner sequence could be the difference between pole and the back of the grid.
Stefan's just posted a 2 minutes and 3.282 seconds. That's a proper improvement. He's knocking on the door now.
He's still matching the pace of Frieza and Barnabas at the top end, but Rob's still the one to beat by a tenth and a half overall.
Big Red's found something. 2 minutes and 30.218 seconds, and that's a proper personal best. He's right there scratching at the front runners now.
He's closing in on that top three, but Rob's still holding the line with his P1 time. Margins are so fine you could split hairs here.
Seven minutes to go, and Matthew Watson's just cracked into the 2:51s. That's a proper statement from him, Martin.
He's knocking on the door of the top six now, but Chris and Cranky Cow are still holding that ground ahead of him. It'll come down to who capitalizes on their next flying lap.
Rob's still the man to beat at the top, but Cranky Cow is breathing down his neck. They're separated by nothing.
Oliver Saxby just improved to 3 minutes and 7.718 seconds, but that's still quite a way off the pace. The top end is locked in tight around the 2-minute mark.
Cranky Cow's done it. 1:41, that's the new benchmark, and he's just knocked Rob off the top.
Absolutely clinical lap there. He's threaded it together perfectly, and with 6 minutes left that's going to be incredibly difficult to beat.
Stefan's back out of the box and is threaded together a 1 minute and 45.529 seconds. That's a proper improvement from him, Martin.
He's chipping away at it, but Chris is still the one setting the standard at the sharp end. There's nearly half a second between them now.
Jay and Ken's 47.49 is on it. 44.156. That's a proper lap and is right in the mix now with 6 minutes to play with.
He's split the difference between the midfield and the leaders. Still about a tenth off Rob's pace, but the progression is there.
Oliver's just posted 1:44.56. That's a cracking improvement and is matching Chris's pace now.
Dead level on the timesheet. Oliver's found consistency through the middle sectors, but Chris still holds the headline with 5 minutes remaining.
Rob's found another tenth and is up to 1 minute and 41.511 seconds. He's knocking on Chris's door now with 5 minutes left on the clock.
He's closing the gap incrementally. Chris still leads by just over 6 tenths, but Rob's got the momentum and he's clearly got more in the tank.
Chris is back in the pits now. 4 minutes to go and he's still holding that top spot by over half a second.
He'll be looking to bank another flying lap before the checkered flag. Rob's right there with the momentum though, so Chris can't afford to leave it all on the table.
Joe's just broken into the 1:42s. That's 1 minute and 42.886 seconds, and he's found a real chunk of time there.
He's still 1.76 back from Chris's benchmark, but that's a solid improvement. Joe's clearly found a better rhythm through the technical sections.
4 minutes left and Jane Kenner's 47.49 is rolling out of the pit lane on fresh rubber. looking to nail one more qualifying lap before the flag.
Clean exit there, and they'll be hunting for improvement. Still level on pace with the front runners at the moment, so there's definitely time to find.
3 minutes to go and Cranky Cow 352098 is absolutely glued to Chris's pace. This is shaping up to be a real nail-biter for pole position.
They're separated by hundredths at this point. Whoever gets a clean lap in these final moments is walking away with it.
Freezer's pushing hard now. He knows the window's closing and he needs to find those tenths if he's going to break into the top 3.
He's got the pace buried in there somewhere. Sector 1 looked tidy, but he's still carrying too much speed into the technical bit and losing ground.
Barnabas has just clocked a 1 minute and 42.915 seconds. That's a personal best and is climbing up the order as we speak.
Good effort there. He's found some consistency in the middle sector, though he's still over a second adrift of Chris at the top.
2 minutes left and the grid's still wide open. Cranky Cow 352098 is breathing down Chris's neck. They're virtually locked together at the top.
Cranky Cow's been immaculate all session. If he can string together a clean lap in this final push, Chris might find himself looking at second place.
Rob's back out of the box now. He's got one final opportunity to stake his claim for a top 3 finish before the checkered flag comes down.
He's matching Chris's pace in the first sector, but Cranky Cow 352098 is still lapping clean as a whistle up front. Those two are operating on another level right now.
Cranky Cow 352098 is absolutely on it. He's got Chris covered on pace and there's real tension at the sharp end here with seconds ticking away.
Chris hasn't answered back yet. If Cranky Cow gets a clean run through the final sector, that top spot could flip before we hit the flag.
One minute to go and Jane Kent's 4749 is heading back out. They're hunting for that final improvement before the flag drops.
With Rob also in the pits, there's still movement in the order, but Chris and Cranky Cow 352098 have built enough of a margin that barring a miracle lap, we are looking at those two locked in at the top.
Joe's found something there. 1 minute and 42.537 seconds is a proper improvement. He's knocking on the door of that top 3.
He's closing the gap to Joe, but with 60 seconds left on the clock, Chris still looks comfortably in control at the front.
Luke's coming in from P13. That's a pit stop with no time left on the clock, so he won't get another flying lap in.
Qualifying's effectively done for him then. He'll take whatever he set before the stop and that's his grid position locked in.
And that's time. The checkered flag is out. Qualifying is done here at Jarama.
Chris takes pole position with the fastest lap of the session, and Cranky Cow 352098 locks in second, both of them right on the edge all afternoon.
Hold on, Quirt's coming into the pits on lap 5, but we are at 0 minutes remaining. The session is already done.
That's a meaningless stop. The clock's expired, so whatever they set before pitting is their qualifying time. No second chance here.
Chris has got that pole position locked down. Absolutely stellar pace all session from him.
He's really been the one to beat. Cranky Cow right there matching him on pace, but Chris edges it when it matters.
Barnabas is heading to the pits now on lap 6, but hold on, we are already out of time here at Jarama. Qualifying's finished.
That's another one coming in after the flag, so their fastest lap from earlier in the session stands as their qualifying time. No improvement possible now,
Oliver Saxby dipping into the pits on lap 4, but we are at 0 minutes, qualifications already in the books here.
He's P11 on the grid, so that pit stop comes after the session has closed. Whatever his best lap was before entering the pits, that's his qualifying position locked in.
Fuzzy Ace in the pits on lap 6, but we are well past the checkered flag here. That qualifying session is done and dusted.
Whatever they set before entering the pit lane is their final qualifying time, so this stop doesn't change their grid position one bit.
Welcome back to Jarama 2009, everyone. We've got the Ferrari 355 challenge grid taking to this fantastic circuit, and let me tell you, the pace is really tight at the top.
3 drivers separated by nothing on the timesheets, so there's clearly good balance in these cars, but we'll see who can iron out the small inconsistencies over the next couple of minutes.
Well, we are down to the final minute here. Everyone's given it a real go around Jarama.
Freezer's set the pace, but look at Luke up there in P2. He's matching the best lap times almost to the 1000th.
Everyone's back in the pits now with just seconds left on the clock. Looks like they've all had a proper crack at it out there.
The Ferrari's been pretty consistent all session, and honestly, the gap between P1 and P8 tells you these drivers are all on it today.
Well, that's practice wrapped up then. Everyone's parked up and the session's done.
Freezer took the honours, but honestly, with most of the field separated by thousandths, there's not much in it for qualifying.
I just find like I'll go quicker just keeping the temperatures down rather than focusing on the right pressure.
Pretty impressive stuff from this field today. Freezer's obviously found something, but look how tight it all is down the order.
Yeah, the Ferrari's rewarding smooth inputs here at Jarama. Everyone's within a tenth of each other, which suggests the setup window's quite forgiving.
Right, we are underway at Jarama, 13 laps of racing, and Chris has got the jump from pole position with Rob right there breathing down his neck.
The field's incredibly tight through the field. We saw in practice how narrow the margins are in this Ferrari, so expect some serious jostling for position over the next hour.
I'll restart. Can you just exit and rejoin? Yeah, thanks. You've got a minute. Alright, you're all good. I can say the first 4 degrees and then the rest of the grid is all blue. Good luck.
They off. The race is underway at Jarama 2009. Hold on. It's going to be a wild first lap.
Good launches across the board from what I can see. The first corner will tell the real story.
Fascinating race developing here, so much going on all around the circuit.
A lot of variables still in play. We'll see how it unfolds over the remaining laps.
Fascinating race developing here, so much going on all around the circuit.
A lot of variables still in play. We'll see how it unfolds over the remaining laps.
Cranky Cows found another gear. That fastest lap is a statement of intent from the leader.
Interesting. Chris is only 2/10 behind on the same rubber, so there's clearly pace in that second place car if he can find it.
Big trouble for Quirt. They've picked up a drive-through penalty on lap 1. That's 14 seconds gone just like that.
Jump start or contact, most likely. Either way, they've dropped from contention already with 12 laps still to run.
Chris is keeping it tight up front, just 30 hundredths behind Cranky Cow, so there's real tension between those two already.
The Ferrari's performing well through the middle of the field, Rob's holding third, and Joe's within a second of him, so the grid's still closely bunched.
Jarama's a proper old-school circuit. Martin, tight and unforgiving, so one mistake and you're in trouble.
True, and with these Ferraris all on the same compound, we are seeing genuine pace differences rather than strategy games. It's pure racecraft out there.
Lap 2 and the front 4 are locked together like a vice. Chris and Cranky Cow still separated by nothing, Rob and Joe right on their heels.
Barnabas and Frieza are trading positions further back, but they're both nearly a tenth adrift of Joe, so there's a clear two-tire battle forming here.
"11 laps to go and this field is razor sharp. Cranky Cow's right there on Chris's gearbox. Mate, they're not giving each other a millimetre."
Rob's got his eye on second as well. He's only a quarter second back now, so if Chris or Cranky Cow make even a small error, the order could flip in a heartbeat.
Rob's closing that gap to second place. He's got momentum through the middle of the track and is looking hungry for a podium spot here.
Chris and Cranky Cow are still glued together, but Rob's only a quarter second adrift now, which means one small error up front opens the door wide open.
Barnabas just posted a 1 minute and 43.054 seconds. That's a personal best and is hunting down Joe hard now, mate.
Joe's still got a tenth or so on him, but Barnabas is clearly finding his rhythm. He's the fastest driver on track right now outside the top 4.
10 laps remaining and the front 3 are absolutely locked in. Chris, Cranky Cow, and Rob are separated by less than a second. Mate, this is championship level racing right here.
Barnabas is still making gains on Joe in 4th. That personal best shows he's found another tenth or two. So Joe needs to respond or he'll have another fight on his hands.
Cranky Cow's holding on up there, but Chris is relentless. He's not giving an inch and you can feel the pressure building lap by lap.
Rob's sitting in the perfect spot though. One mistake from either of those two and he's straight through into second. So Chris can't afford to get loose.
You know, Jarama's a proper test of car control in these Ferraris. No room for error on a circuit this tight.
Absolutely. And with Chris and Cranky Cow both on mediums up front, we are going to see real tyre management become the story here in the back half of this race.
Wesley Thainso with an improved lap 1 minute and 43.906 seconds. Getting quicker.
Personal best for Wesley Thainso. 1 minute and 43.906 seconds. The gap to the fastest is 2.768 seconds.
Matthew Watson sets a personal best 1 minute and 46.061 seconds. Moving in the right direction.
Matthew Watson improves to 1 minute and 46.061 seconds. Still 4.923 seconds off the overall fastest.
Four laps in and we've got a proper scrap brewing. Rob's right on Joe's gearbox there in 3rd and 4th.
Tight margins at the moment, only 3/10 between them, and with 9 laps to go there's definitely time for someone to make a move.
Right then, 8 laps to go and Chris is still holding the line at the front. but look at the pressure Cranky Cow's applying, less than a second back.
Chris has the edge in pace right now, but Cranky Cow's staying honest. If he can find a tenth or two per lap, this could get properly interesting before the checkered flag.
Barnabas is glued to Joe's rear wing in fourth. That's a driver who's hungry for position with 8 laps left.
Joe's got nowhere to hide on this circuit. If Barnabas can match his pace through the high-speed stuff, we could see a move sooner rather than later.
The gaps are compressing nicely through the midfield now. Freezer's starting to reel in Bradke ahead of him.
Brad's got a 3-second cushion still, but Freezer's definitely on it. Another couple of laps at this rate and we'll have a proper fight on our hands down there.
Chris is doing a masterclass up front, but Cranky Cow's not letting up. That gap's staying paper thin and it's only going to get tighter.
The Ferrari's got good balance for Chris, but Cranky Cow's clearly got the pace in hand. It's just a matter of whether he can execute the overtake in time.
Rob's closing in on third now. That gap to Joe is coming down lap after lap, and with 7 to go, this is where the real sorting happens.
Rob's got decent momentum through the technical sections, but Joe's not making mistakes. It's incremental pressure rather than a crisis for 4th place.
Cranky Cow's right on Chris's gearbox now. That's the closest we've seen them all race, and with 7 laps to run, this is where championships get decided.
Joe's defending 4th pretty solidly against Rob, but the real pressure's building in that top 3. Chris can't afford to lose concentration for a single corner.
Freezer's starting to move up through the field. That's 6 drivers within 2 seconds of the lead now. And Jarama's always been a circuit where one mistake opens the door for everyone else.
True, but Chris is still managing the gap intelligently. He's not pushing into the red, just keeping Cranky Cow at arm's length while the rest sort themselves out behind.
Six laps left and we are watching a masterclass in Ferrari handling through these quick sections. This 355 just rewards smooth inputs.
Cranky Cow's still their 900ths back, but Chris isn't rattled. He's controlling the rhythm rather than defending aggressively, which is the smarter play when you've got half the field breathing down your neck.
Brad's picked up a drive-through penalty on lap 7. That's 14 seconds gone, and just like that they've dropped from contention in the fight for points.
Racing incident or a jump start, but either way they were in a strong position at P7. Now they're looking at damage control for the last 6 laps.
And there it is, Chris extending that lead to over a second now. Gaps climbed to 1.11 and he's found another gear through the technical sections.
Cranky Cow's struggling to match his pace. The Ferrari's just superior on turn in here, and Chris is exploiting that every lap without exception.
Five laps to go and Chris has really found his rhythm. That gap sitting at just over a second now, he's controlling this beautifully.
Rob's still glued to Cranky Cow in third, separated by hundredths. That's where the real battle is shaping up for the final points positions.
Rob's absolutely locked in on Cranky Cow, less than a quarter second between them, and you can feel the intensity building with 5 laps still to run.
The gap to Chris is stable at 0.58s, but Cranky Cow's holding Rob at arm's length for now. Any mistake though, and Rob's right there to pounce.
Joe and Barnabas are really scrapping back there, separated by just 6/10, and they're both hunting for that 6th position.
Freezer's holding 8th, but the gap back to him is closing. Brad's only 3/4 of a second up the road, so there's potential movement in the lower half yet.
Chris is really motoring away now. That gap stretched to 1.37 seconds, and Cranky Cow's having to manage the pressure from Rob breathing down his neck.
Cranky Cow's caught between two problems: Chris disappearing up the road and Rob closing in behind. This could get messy in the final laps if concentration slips.
Four laps left and Cranky Cow's got to hold his nerve here. Rob's still hunting, just 0.41 seconds back, and one small slip could hand him second place.
Chris has built a commanding lead now at 0.34s, but the real story is the sandwich Cranky Cow's stuck in, defending from Rob while watching Chris disappear.
Cranky Cow's got to be feeling the heat now. Rob's right there, just 4/10 back, and with 4 laps to go this could come down to who wants it more.
Second place is genuinely up for grabs if Rob can find one clean lap. Cranky Cow's concentration is being split between defending and watching Chris pull away.
Jarama's been a proper test today. This Ferrari's not giving away anything easy, and Chris is making it look like he knows every inch of this place.
It's a tight circuit, plenty of braking zones where you can gain or lose tenths. Cranky Cow and Rob are separated by nothing, so the next mistake wins or loses it.
3 laps now and Chris is running away with it. That gap's nearly 2 seconds. He's got this race sewn up.
Cranky Cow's doing a solid job managing his tyres though. He's not cracking under pressure, which matters because Rob's still only a 10th or 2 away from pouncing.
Rob's been patient down there in third, but with 3 laps left he might be thinking this is his moment. Cranky Cow's not pulling away anymore.
Both leaders are on the mediums, which means we are probably seeing the true pace now. No surprises left in the tyre game at this point.
Joe's been quietly climbing through the field. He's right on Barnabas now, just a second back and forth, and you can feel the intensity building in that train.
The gaps are compressing everywhere except at the top. Chris has got a comfortable margin, but behind him it's a game of millimeters. One lockup and the order flips.
3 laps to go, and this pack behind Chris is absolutely wound up. Rob's got a real sniff at second place now.
Cranky Cow is still on the mediums like Chris, but he's not extending anymore. If Rob finds a clean lap, he could be in the fight for the podium.
Two laps left and Freezer's absolutely glued to Bragg's gearbox. They're separated by nothing, mate, literally on the same piece of track.
That's the real battle down there. At this point it's pure car control and nerve. One small mistake and positions 8 and 7 swap in an instant.
Chris is managing that lead beautifully. He knows what he's got to do. Just keep it clean for one more lap and it's his.
Cranky Cow's still within a second, but he's not closing. Rob's the real threat now, sitting third and hungry for it with 2 to run.
Chris is pulling away now. That gaps out to 1.18 and has found another gear entirely with 2 laps to run.
Cranky Cow can't match it, both on mediums, but Chris is just executing better right now when it matters most.
Last lap coming up and Chris has got this in the bag. 2.57 seconds clear with Cranky Cow trying everything but just can't find the answer.
Rob's the one to watch. Third place, just 2.67 back, but 1 lap isn't enough time to make something happen on this track.
Chris takes the checkered flag. He's done it. A brilliant drive from start to finish at Jarama.
Cranky Cow 352098 crosses second, nearly 3 seconds down, but he's held off Rob for the podium despite that late pressure.
Well, that's a proper race, isn't it? Chris has done the business today at Jarama, driven it like a champion when it counted.
The Ferrari's been consistent all afternoon. Both leaders on mediums, but Chris just had that extra 10th in his pocket when the pressure came on.
The checkered flag. Chris wins. What a drive. Absolutely brilliant.
Chris takes the victory. A well-executed race from start to finish.
And there we have it. Chris takes the win at Jarama, a commanding performance from start to finish, and that's a huge haul of points for the championship.
Cranky Cow 352098 second, Rob third. Solid day for the front runners, but Chris's consistency on those mediums was the difference today.
What a fantastic evening of racing we've had here at Jarama. Chris is your winner, and folks, stick around because we've got another cracker coming up in just a moment.
That's race 1 in the books. Join us shortly for race 2.
I laughed when I flew off. I laughed when I flew off the road into the gravel, and then I'll see you in my rearview mirror also going into the gravel. Alright, everyone has to jump out. It's tricky.
Welcome back to Jarama, everyone. We are into the final 3 minutes of practice and it's absolutely brilliant out there. 3 cars pushing hard in these red Ferraris.
Stefan set the benchmark at the moment, but what's interesting is how tight the field is. Chris and Wally both within a tenth, so there's clearly more performance still to find before we go racing.
Three minutes left and everyone's circulating. Looks like they're all having one more push at it before the checkered flag.
The field's incredibly tight still. Chris is your benchmark, but there's half a tenth between the top 6, so we'll probably see a few more improvements before the session ends.
Chris is really working that Ferrari hard, smooth as you like through the middle of the lap, but you can see he's hunting for tenths everywhere.
The car balance looks planted from what we've seen, but 3 minutes is tight for anyone to make a meaningful improvement on these times.
It's the same as 30 laps.
Everyone's tucked in the pits now with 2 minutes to go. You reckon we'll see a final flurry, or are these times done?
Hard to say at this stage, but the field's so compressed that one good lap could shuffle the entire order in the final minute.
Unless you read the iRacing announcement.
2 minutes left and the pits are still full. Wonder if anyone's brave enough to go back out for one last crack at it.
You'd need to be confident in the setup to risk it now. One lockup or a mistake and you've thrown away a clean lap time.
One minute left. Reckon Chris has got enough in the bank, or is there still time for someone to nick it?
At this point it'd taken a perfect lap, and with the pits emptying, I'd say he's done enough.
Well, that's practice wrap then. Chris has done a proper job to get to the top of the sheet with that Ferrari.
He's been smooth all session, hasn't he? No heroics, just clean laps and incremental gains.
You know, this Ferrari feels pretty planted through the quick stuff. Chris has clearly found something nice with the setup.
Yeah, he's not overdriving it either, which is the smart play in practice. Leave yourself room to find more on race day.
Right then, welcome back everyone. We are here at Jarama for round 8, and this grid is absolutely stacked with talent today. 13 laps to go, and the battle's on from the line.
8 drivers, all separated by nothing on the clock. That's going to make for some proper racing. Watch for Wally and Brad fighting for that lead. They're separated by fractions.
They off. The race is underway at Jarama 2009. Hold on. It's going to be a wild first lap.
Good launches across the board from what I can see. The first corner will tell the real story.
Lap 1 and we are already seeing some incredible racing. Brakes right on my gearbox through the first sequence.
The whole field's bunched up, but you can see Frieza and Varnabas probing for gaps behind. They're not going to give an inch today.
We are into the race proper now, and the grid's holding tight. This is going to be a real scrap over 13 laps.
Absolutely. With everyone this close, tyre management and racecraft are going to separate the men from the boys by the end.
Brad's still glued to the back of me. Mate, he's not letting up for a second out there.
The gap to Freezer behind is actually tightening. Barnabas and Rob are right there too. So Brad knows he's got to capitalize now or he'll lose positions.
Brad's making a real meal of this. He's got the pace, but Freezer's not giving him any room to breathe behind.
Freezer's actually holding his line beautifully. He's third now, but he's clearly got something in reserve for later in the stint.
It's a proper dogfight through the middle of the field. Rob and Chris are separated by less than a second, and Big Red's lurking just behind them.
The Ferrari's proving consistent on the M compound so far, but the real question is how these tyres hold up through the second half when the heat gets into them.
"12 laps is a long way in this heat. Plenty of time for someone to make a mistake, especially with how tight it is out there."
True, and you've got to think about fuel management too. Everyone's pushing hard early, but there's a lot of racing left to do.
Freezer's right there on Brad's gearbox. He's not backing down one bit, and you can feel the tension building between those two.
Brad's got the racing line sorted, but Freezer's matching every move. It's a war of attrition now, and with 11 laps left, someone's patience will crack first.
Wiley's up front, but Brad's not letting him breathe. They're nose to tail through the chicane, and it's absolutely gripping stuff.
The gap to third is stable at the moment, but Freezer's matching their pace. If either of the leaders makes a small mistake, he's in the conversation.
This heat's relentless out here. You can see the drivers really working the wheel, especially through the quick sections.
Jarama's unforgiving when it gets warm like this. One lockup and you're backing up 3 positions, so everyone's threading the needle right now.
You know, Martin, Wiley's doing a solid job up front, but Brad's keeping him honest. That gap's going to be crucial over the next few laps.
Absolutely. Wiley's on M compound same as Chris back and forth, so tyre life's going to be a factor, but right now it's all about maintaining that rhythm and not gifting anything away.
Brad's still glued to the back of Wiley's Ferrari. He's not fading one bit, and that's exactly the kind of pressure that can cause a slip-up.
Chris setting the fastest lap from third shows the pace is there if the opportunity opens up. Right now he's got Freezer as a buffer, but that gap's only 1.04 ahead to Stefan. Plenty of racing left.
Chris is closing in on Brad now. That's the real battle developing down the order, and if he can get past, he's right back in the hunt for the lead.
Rob's holding fourth, but there's a queue forming behind him. Barnabas is only 2200ths back, so one mistake and the whole midfield reshuffles.
10 laps to go and we are settling into a proper rhythm here. This Ferrari's planted, but you can feel the concentration in every corner.
Jarama rewards patience. Wiley's got a 1 second cushion, but he's not stretching it, which tells you he's managing something underneath.
Rob and Chris are separated by nothing back there. If one of them gets a toe down the straight, we could see a real scrap unfold in the next few laps.
Frieza's in the mix too. He's only a second back from third, so the midfield's compressed like a spring right now.
Chris just posted that fastest lap, 1 minute and 42.3 seconds, and is hungry. Only 600ths behind me now, so he's absolutely in this.
The gap's tightening because he's found something in the rhythm. Wally's and Compound is probably starting to feel it, and Chris looks fresher right now.
The pressure's mounting now. Chris is right there, and at Jarama you need clean air to breathe, you know?
Wally's on M Compound like Chris, so it's purely down to driver confidence and racecraft over the next 9 laps, no tyre advantage either way.
Rob's right on Chris's gearbox. They're glued together through the technical section, and one mistake is all it takes.
3/10 between third and fourth now. Barnabas is hunting Rob hard, and that gap's mobile if the leaders get held up.
Wally's holding it together up front, but 9 laps is a long time when Chris is breathing down his neck like that.
True, and the thing about this circuit is there's nowhere to hide. One lockup or a poor exit and Chris capitalizes immediately.
Eight laps left and Rob's still within a heartbeat of Chris. This is exactly where races are won and lost.
The real story is Barnabas lurking just behind them. If the top 2 tangle or one drops the pace, fourth becomes very interesting very quickly.
You know, Martin, this Ferrari's got real character through the high-speed stuff. It's rewarding drivers who commit to their lines.
Absolutely, and that's why Wally in third is actually closer than the gap suggests. One mistake from either of those 2 ahead and he's right back in it.
Rob's done a brilliant job of staying glued to Chris through 5 laps. That's real racecraft at this circuit.
He has, but look at the tyre situation. Chris is on mediums and so is Wally behind him. So if anyone's going to crack, it'll be about tyre temp management over the next 8 laps.
Chris just set the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute and 41.674 seconds, and is absolutely locked in up front.
That's the 3rd time he's improved this lap. Rob's matching him through the technical sections, but Chris is finding something extra on the straights.
Oh, Brad's picked up a drive-through penalty on lap 6. That's cost him 8 seconds right there, and in a 13-lap race that's absolutely brutal.
Looks like a jump start or a racing incident earlier. Either way, he's gone from 5th to effectively 7th now, and with only 7 laps to recover, that's his podium hopes gone.
Jarama's a circuit that punishes you if you lose concentration for a lap, and Chris is just showing complete mastery of it right now.
He is, but 7 laps is still a long way home. Rob's only 3/10 back, and if Chris makes one small mistake, Rob will be all over him.
Rob's really keeping the pressure on Chris. That gap's not budging, is it?
He's matching him lap for lap through the technical stuff, but Chris is just that bit sharper on corner exit. Rob needs something to give him an edge, or this podium's slipping away.
Rob's absolutely flying though. He just clocked a 1 minute and 42.244 seconds. That's seriously quick.
He is, but it's still not quite enough to trouble Chris at the front. The gap's holding at a tenth or so, which means he's got to find another tenth or two in these last 6 laps.
Chris is still inches ahead, but Rob's not letting him breathe. This is proper championship racing right here.
6 laps to sort it out, and we've got a real fight on our hands. 1 lockup, 1 missed apex, and the whole thing changes.
Wiley's up into third and has got his sights on Rob now. Only a quarter of a second separates them.
Third place is worth points in the championship, and Wally knows it. If he can get a toe down the straight, he might have a real go at Rob before the flag.
Six laps left and Wiley's hunting Rob. He's only got a quarter second to make up, and that's absolutely doable on a track like this.
The thing is, Rob knows he's got Wally breathing down his neck. One small mistake and he's vulnerable, but he's also got Chris to worry about up front. Split focus is dangerous in a title fight.
Five laps to go, and this is where it counts. Chris and Rob are nose to tail up front, and Wiley's lurking right there ready to pounce if either of them puts a wheel wrong.
Barnabas and Bradka closing in from 4th and 5th as well. The midfield's tightening up, which means everyone's pushing hard and mistakes are starting to creep in.
Hold on, there's a drive-through penalty. Fuzzy East just gone through the pits without stopping. That's 14 seconds gone in 1 lap.
Jump start or contact, has to be. Either way, they've dropped from contention entirely with 5 laps left. That's a race ender at Jarama.
Five laps remaining, and this Ferrari is working beautifully through the rhythm of this circuit. Chris up front's still got that quarter second on Rob, but the margins are razor thin now.
What's interesting is how composed Chris has been. He's not overdriving it, just managing the gap with surgical precision, whereas Rob's been a bit more aggressive trying to close it down.
Four laps left and Rob's still hunting Chris down. That gap's not budging though, it's locked at a quarter second.
Rob's committing harder into the braking zones, but Chris isn't rattled. He's just matching pace and controlling the narrative from the front.
You know, this Ferrari's got a lovely balanced feel through here. Chris is making it look effortless up front, but Rob's right there breathing down his neck.
4 laps to go and the gap's essentially static at 6/10. Chris is doing enough to hold position without overdoing it, which is smart racing when you've got a cushion like that.
We're down to the business end now. For laps to race, and Chris is still sitting pretty up front, but Rob's absolutely not backing off.
The gap's hovering around half a second, which suggests Rob's found a rhythm but hasn't quite got the pace to reel Chris in. It's a battle of attrition at this point.
Three laps. This is where it counts, and Chris has still got that rhythm locked in up front.
Rob's within a quarter second, but he's not gaining. Chris is managing the gap with precision, which is exactly what you want when the checkered flag's this close.
Rob's still hunting Chris, but with 3 laps to go, the leader's got that calm about him. He's not panicking, he's just controlling what he needs to control.
The battle for second is where it gets interesting though. Barnabas is right on Rob's gearbox, separated by a tenth or two, and that could change the podium picture entirely before the flag.
Jarama's a proper tight circuit, isn't it? Nowhere to hide in a Ferrari, especially when the margins are this small.
Exactly right. It's all about exit speed and carrying momentum through the slower bits, and that's where Chris seems to have the upper hand today.
Barnabas is absolutely glued to Rob now. Look at that precision through the technical section, he's not giving an inch.
Rob's tyres might be starting to lose a touch of grip. He was sharper earlier in the lap, and Barnabas is capitalizing on every small mistake.
Chris is just managing it now, doesn't need to push, just needs to bring it home clean, and he's got the measure of Rob today.
Behind them, Barnabas hasn't backed off one bit. He's only a car length away, and if Rob puts a wheel wrong in the next lap or two, that second place is there for the taking.
Two laps left and it's absolutely frenetic down there. Rob and Barnabas are separated by nothing, and Bragg's right in the mix too.
The fight for second is the real story now. Chris has built enough breathing room, but positions 2 through 4 are genuinely on a knife edge.
Jarama really sorts out who's got the racecraft, doesn't it? No room for error on a circuit this tight.
Absolutely, and with 2 laps to run, every apex matters. One sloppy corner and you're vulnerable to the car behind.
Joe's had a quiet race back in 5th, but is only 1.5 seconds off Brad. If there's chaos ahead, he could be in the mix.
True, and you've got Cranky Cow 352098 lurking in 6th, less than half a second adrift. The midfield's compressed nicely for a final sprint.
Three laps to go and Rob's holding second. He's got to be feeling the pressure from Barnabas sniffing at his gearbox.
Rob's gap is down to 0.2. One lockup or a minor mistake and Barnabas is through into P2, so concentration is absolutely critical for him right now.
One lap left and it's all on the line. Rob's still holding second, but that gap to Barnabas is paper thin.
20 tenths is nothing at this pace. Rob needs a clean run through the technical section or Barnabas will be right there on the exit.
Chris takes the win. What a race that was, brilliant stuff from start to finish.
Race result, Chris wins. We'll break down the key moments shortly.
And that's the checkered flag. Chris takes it. A brilliant drive in the Ferrari, absolutely in control from start to finish.
Oliver Saxby's the headline though. Look at him. P3 on the road but marked as the winner in the results. So there's clearly been a post-race adjustment or penalty applied ahead of him.
What a race that was. Chris absolutely masterful out there. And what a battle Rob and Barnabas put on for second place. They really gave the fans their money's worth tonight.
Stick around everyone. Race 2 is coming up in just a few moments and you won't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Jarama, folks. We're into practice now with the Ferrari 355 challenge, and Jane Canis 4749 is getting straight to work out there, really feeling out this circuit.
4 minutes on the clock, so we're in that crucial window where drivers are pushing to unlock some pace before the session ends. Watch how he's managing that throttle application through the technical sections.
Everyone's in the pits now with 3 minutes left. This is that scramble to get one more proper run in before the session ends.
They're all within a tenth of each other on the board, which tells you the car's fairly well balanced across the field, but someone will find a bit more before we are done.
3 minutes to go and nobody's really separated themselves here. It's going to come down to who nails that final push.
The cars sweep through the middle of the circuit, but I'd be curious to see if anyone finds anything in the braking zones before the clock stops.
Two minutes left and they're all going to have one last crack at it. This is where the session gets decided, really.
The field's tight enough that even a tenth or two in the right corner could shuffle the order before we are done here.
With 2 minutes on the clock, this Ferrari's handling pretty nicely through the quick stuff. Bit of understeer if you really push it, but nothing the drivers can't manage.
Yeah, The balance feels honest. Real question is whether anyone's brave enough to take a proper run at it in these final laps, or if we are just seeing tentative laps from the pit lane.
One minute left. Everyone's still in the box, so we might not see any more running before the checkered flag.
Fair enough, but if anyone wants to have one last throw of the dice, now's the moment to get out there.
And that's the session. Fuzzy takes it with a 2 minutes and 47.5 seconds. Absolutely brilliant pace from them today.
Everyone else is bunched up on the same 10th, so there wasn't a huge amount of separation in the end, but Fuzzy found something in that car the others didn't quite unlock.
So Fuzzy East really got the measure of this place. That 2 minutes and 47.5 seconds was a proper well-rounded lap, wasn't it?
Definitely. The rest of the field were within a 10th, but Fuzzy had a bit more confidence in the mid-corner stuff, seemed to carry more speed through the flowing sections.
You know, that Ferrari's a proper handful around here. Fuzzy East just got the setup dialed in though. Looks planted through the quick bits.
The rest of the grid's clearly got the pace in them, but they're all dancing around trying to find that consistency Fuzzy East already got locked down.
Everyone's back in the pits now. Bit of a reshuffle happening with the setups, I reckon.
Yeah, most of them are within a 10th of each other, so there's definitely room to find time if they can nail the fundamentals.
Fuzzy East coming in early then. Probably wants to get some fresh air in the tyres and have another crack at finding that extra 10th.
Makes sense in practice. Everyone else is circulating, but Fuzzy East already got the benchmark, so why not try something different on the next run?
So I actually don't know what we're racing next week. Dylan still hasn't made a final decision.
It's interesting watching them all work through this. Jarama's not the easiest place to get right. Lots of quick direction changes.
True, and with everyone so close on pace, it's really about who can string together a clean lap without losing time in the tighter sections.
Right then, welcome back everyone. We are underway at Jarama for round 8, and this is going to be a cracker. 13 cars, tight grid, and all of them hunting for championship points.
Wally, look at those pit boxes. Fuzzy E, Wally himself, and Luke McCulloch are still getting their cars ready, so we'll see who comes out first when the lights go green. The real battle's going to be in the opening lap on the circuit.
And we are racing. The field accelerates away, chaos into the first corner, everyone looking for position.
A lot of movement in those first few seconds. We'll sort out who's where as they come through.
Lights are out and they are away. Chris gets the jump on the field, but look at Rob right there on his gearbox.
Everyone's bunched up through the first couple of corners, typical Jarama. No time to breathe. And with 13 cars you're going to have contact if anyone gets too ambitious.
Chris is looking sharp up front, but Rob's not giving him a centimetre. This is proper racing.
The pack's incredibly tight. Barnabas and Brad go right on Rob's tail, so whoever makes a mistake first could shuffle the order completely.
Chris is really showing his pace out front, nearly 3 seconds clear already, and Rob's working hard but is not closing that gap.
Rob's got his hands full. Barnabas is within a second of him now, so the pressure's mounting from behind. One mistake and the order changes.
"12 laps of Jarama ahead of them. This track doesn't give you much room to recover if you lose concentration for a moment."
True, and with Chris already half a minute up the road, the real battle's shaping up behind him between Rob and Barnabas for that second spot.
Rob's got Barnabas breathing down his neck. He needs to find some rhythm here, or that second place is going to be up for grabs.
The gap between second and third is barely a second now, and with this many laps to go, one lockup could change everything for Rob.
Rob's still holding second, but he's got to be sharp through here. Barnabas is right there waiting for any slip.
Cranky Cow's also within a second of Barnabas, so there's a real convoy forming. Rob's in the hot seat at the moment.
Joe's closing in on Freezer up there. That gap's come down to nothing in the last couple of laps.
Freezer's been isolated out there. If Joe gets a decent run, we could see a move develop before the pit stops become relevant.
Chris is building a gap up front now. He's got breathing room and he knows exactly what he needs to do with 11 laps to play with.
Rob's still got Barnabas within half a tenth, but the real pressure is Cranky Cow moving into contention behind them. This middle order is absolutely compressed.
Jarama's a tight circuit, no room for error out there, and you can see it in how compressed this field is.
Absolutely. You've got Rob, Barnabas, and Cranky Cow 352098 all within a second and a half of each other. One small mistake and the order flips completely.
Rob and Barnabas are locked together out there. Literally can't split them on the timing screen.
The gap between second and fourth is the real story. Cranky Cow's within a second and a half of Rob, which means one error up front opens the door wide.
Three laps in and Chris is commanding this race. But look behind him, that battle for second is absolutely vicious.
Cranky Cow's just 0.28 seconds behind Rob now. One lock-up, one slight miss, and that podium position changes hands.
Freezer's working hard down in sixth, but he's got Joe breathing down his neck just over a second back.
The real squeeze is happening in the midfield. Brad's only 0.69 seconds ahead of Freezer, so we could see some position changes if anyone gets a toe through the slower corners.
Cranky Cow just clocked a 1 minute and 41.318 seconds. That's a personal best and is starting to smell blood on Rob ahead.
The top four are separated by less than a second, which at Jarama means we are one corner away from a reshuffled podium.
Rob's holding second, but Cranky Cow's absolutely relentless. He's found another 10th and is closing in every single lap.
The pressure's working. Rob's been managing his pace, but Cranky Cow's now within 0.19 of him. And they've got 9 more laps to sort this out.
Chris is absolutely rock solid up front, hasn't put a wheel wrong all afternoon, and with 9 laps to go he's got a buffer he can work with.
That said, Cranky Cow's got the pace. He's only 0.66 back from Rob now, so if Rob makes one mistake, there's a real opportunity for a podium shuffle.
Eight laps left and this field is tight as a drum. 1 lap can change everything out here at Jarama.
True, and look at the middle order. Barnabas, Brad, and Freezer are separated by a second, so there's real jockeying for position still to come.
Jarama's a proper circuit, Martin, tight, technical, no room for error, and these Ferraris are showing the car's got real character in the mix.
It suits a smooth operator like Chris, honestly. He's not throwing it around, just hitting his marks lap after lap while everyone else is hunting.
Rob's got his hands full now. Cranky Cow's closing in and is looking hungry for that second spot.
You can see it in the lap time delta. Rob's up to 0.77, but Cranky Cow's only 0.2 behind him, so there's real pressure building there.
Rob's just posted a 1 minute and 41.895 seconds. That's a cracking lap time, but is still hunting that fastest out there.
He's improving, yes, but Chris on those medium tires is just untouchable right now. The gap's holding steady at the front.
Down to 7 laps now, and Rob's still within a tenth of Chris at the front. This is shaping up to be a real scrap for the win.
The gap's tightened slightly, but Chris on those mediums is managing his pace beautifully. He's not defensive, just clinical.
Cranky Cow's really applying the screws now. That gap to Rob is paper thin and is visibly quicker through the middle section.
Rob's margin is evaporating. Cranky Cow's on mediums like Chris, and he's found a rhythm that's eating into second place lap after lap.
Chris is absolutely locked in up front. 7 laps to go and is not giving an inch, mate.
The real pressure's on Rob now. Cranky Cow's closing relentlessly, and if he gets a sniff of second place in the next lap or two, that podium's going to change hands.
We are 6 laps from home now, and this is where it matters. Rob's defending that second spot with everything he's got, but Cranky Cow's not backing off an inch.
Barnabas is 4th, a 10th back from Rob, so there's a real scrap developing across the top 3 if anyone falters now.
This is absolutely gripping. Rob's got to be feeling the heat with Cranky Cow right there on his gearbox, and Barnabas lurking just a 10th behind.
The field's compressed nicely. If Rob makes even the smallest mistake in the next couple of laps, we could see a position change in seconds.
6 laps to go, and Rob's still holding second, but Cranky Cow's right there. Any slip and that position's gone.
Worth noting, Chris is on mediums and holding firm. If he can manage those tires to the flag, he's got the measure of everyone today.
You know, Jarama's a circuit that punishes you if you're not smooth. One lockup and you're vulnerable, and Rob knows that better than anyone right now.
Exactly. Cranky Cow's within a 10th. Barnabas is breathing down both their necks. It's a 3-car fight for positions 2, 3, and 4, really.
Five laps left, and it's still anyone's game behind Chris. Rob and Cranky Cow are separated by nothing, mate.
Rob's holding it together, but there's a lot of traffic ahead. Sometimes that's where opportunities open up in the closing laps.
.355 challenge around Jarama. It's a proper little fighter's track, and these lads are showing us why.
Chris has got a cushion at the front, but behind him it's compressed tighter than a tin of sardines. Rob and Cranky Cow are basically joined at the hip.
Four laps now, and Chris is still holding that lead. but Rob and Cranky Cow are absolutely relentless behind him.
Rob's within a second, that's striking distance at Jarama, and with fuel loads dropping he could find a bit more pace in these final laps.
Cranky Cow's still glued to Rob's gearbox. If anyone's going to have a crack at Chris, it could come from either of those two in the next few corners.
The gap to Bradkin 5th is holding steady at 3 seconds, so the real battle is definitely contained to the top 4. One mistake up there and you could shuffle the whole thing.
Rob's closing in now. Chris can't afford to lose focus with 4 laps still to run.
That gap's down to 0.66, and Cranky Cow's right there too. If Rob makes a mistake, he's in the mix immediately.
This is proper racing now. Chris has got to be feeling the heat with Rob right there and Cranky Cow breathing down both their necks.
The thing is, at this track with fuel burning off, whoever's freshest mentally in the final lap could have the edge. One lock-up and the whole podium reshuffles.
We're down to the business end now. Chris still out front, but you can feel the pressure from Rob and Cranky Cow. They're not letting him breathe.
3 laps is a long time in a Ferrari 355, especially when you've got 2 hungry drivers right on your tail. Mistakes happen when the tires are doing this much work.
You know, Jarama's a funny circuit, tight and technical, and it really exposes any weakness in your racecraft when the pressure's on like this.
Absolutely, and with 3 laps left, Chris is managing that front-running tightrope. One small error and Rob's got the doctor's equivalent of breathing down his neck in this formula.
Chris is holding it together up front, but those 2 behind him are vultures. One mistake and this podium gets rewritten in a heartbeat.
Rob's got decent pace, but he's not making ground. The real threat is Cranky Cow closing that gap lap by lap, and both of them are on mediums like Chris, so it's pure racecraft from here.
Two laps left and Chris is running on fumes here. That gap to Rob is paper thin, and Cranky Cow's absolutely hunting.
What's interesting is Rob's holding second but not making progress. Cranky Cow's the real aggressor, closing maybe 0.2 a lap on that medium strategy.
Cranky Cow's absolutely relentless. That gap's down to 1.44 and closing with every corner. Chris has got to nail this final lap or we could see a real shuffle up front.
Rob's stuck in the middle here, which is the worst place to be. He's not threatening Chris ahead, and Cranky Cow's got fresher legs behind him. So unless Rob finds something special, third could slip away. . . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
1 lap to go and Chris has stretched it to over 2 seconds. He's buying himself some breathing room when he needs it most.
That's the Ferrari doing what it does best in the closing stages, but don't write Rob off yet. Cranky Cow's still within striking distance if Chris puts a foot wrong.
Final lap, and Chris has got just over 2 seconds to play with. This is where Ferrari experience counts.
Rob's in a bind. He's close enough to smell an opportunity but not close enough to capitalize on it, and Cranky Cow's still prowling with pace in reserve.
We are down to the wire now. Chris needs to keep his head clean on this last lap, because Rob and Cranky Cow are both vultures circling.
The Ferrari's been solid all race, but a single mistake here and that gap evaporates. Rob's got nothing to lose, so expect him to push the issue through the technical sections.
Jarama's been a proper test today. This circuit doesn't forgive, and Chris knows that better than anyone right now.
The Ferrari's handling well in the slow stuff, which is where Rob and Cranky Cow are hunting him. One misjudgment through the technical sections and this race changes hands.
And that's it. Chris takes the win at Jarama. Absolute masterclass in managing pressure when it matters most.
Wally second, Rob third. That's a solid result for him, but he never quite had the pace to trouble Chris when it counted.
What a race that was. Chris drove with ice in his veins out there, and is taking a commanding win tonight. Stick around, folks, because we've got another cracker coming up very shortly.
Second place for Wally keeps him in the fight, but Chris is pulling away in the championship. Don't go anywhere. The next race starts in just a few minutes.